Hey everyone, welcome to Living It Country. I'm Holly and welcome to Farmhouse Home Tours, our home tour series where every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we share a home tour of a home decor enthusiast, a home decor stylist, or an Instagrammer that wants to share their home to inspire you all. Today I'm so excited to have Sarah from Briarton Farms here today. She's going to be sharing her 1893 farmhouse with you all. I am so excited because Sarah is all about bringing timeless pieces into her home and restoring her farmhouse to its old glory, which I absolutely adore and admire. I think you guys are going to get lots of inspiration from Sarah today, so I'm going to go ahead and link all of her social media accounts down below so you guys can follow her and check her out. I'm also going to leave down below a playlist of all of the farmhouse home tours that we've shared here on our channel so you guys can get even more inspiration. So let's go ahead and get started and let's go tour Sarah's home with her today.
Welcome to Briarton Farm. Today I'm going to give you a tour of just a few rooms on the downstairs portion of our farmhouse. But first I want to tell you a little bit about it. So the farmhouse, the majority of it was built in 1893 by the White family, but there is a small portion that we are still restoring. It's someday going to be our master suite, and that portion was the original claim shanty, and we believe it was built sometime between 1872 and 1878. So I won't be sharing that part today, but I am going to be sharing the parlor or living room, the kitchen, and the dining room. So if you're interested in seeing an authentic old farmhouse, then make sure you come along for this journey and watch all the way to the end. There are so many things you won't want to miss, lots of cool details and history that I'm going to be sharing throughout the tour. You may notice that it's February and I have a Christmas looking wreath. I really only have 3 wreaths and I switch them out. And so I leave the Christmas one up until it's actually spring. So February, I'm not calling this spring yet. And I know everybody's itching to you know, start giving spring life into their homes with decor. I'm hoping that this tour inspires you to just love the season that you are in. I'm going to be using a lot of brownery, not greenery, in my home, and so all of my centerpieces and like mantelscape and things are made up of just weeds basically that I pulled out of the pasture on our farm. I hope that inspires you. Just celebrate where you are. We're also going to show how you can get an authentic historic farm look on a tight budget. Everything in my home that you'll see are pieces that I found at thrift stores, flea markets, like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and those are things that can be pulled together to create a look that's seamless and that blends the old with the new. So come along on the journey. I hope that you guys enjoy this. I'm actually standing in the kitchen so that I can give you a full view of the entryway. To get everything in, I had to scoot way back, but now I'm going to go a little bit closer. This is the door that we mainly use to come into the farmhouse, and I really love that this door goes into the parlor, and then this other front door that you can see through the dining room is kind of what the family would have used on a regular basis to enter the house. And then, you know, the parlor door would have been reserved for guests. So if you had a wedding or a funeral, or your pastor was visiting after church, or maybe you were having some guests over for tea, they would come through this door, and this would be your more well furnished and clean part of the house. and the rest of the house you didn't have to even have clean or decorated with nice furnishings. And that's kind of how the Victorian era was. You know, they couldn't get like a heads up text from their friends that they were coming to visit, so they didn't have time to like clean like mad that we do nowadays. So an open concept home was not really a thing, and they loved it because they only had to keep one room fancy, and this is our fancy room. I would call this our fancy room. It's the parlor or the living room, and this is where we hang out the most. We do use all of these things. A lot of people on my Instagram feed, you know, they're just not used to seeing a family living authentically like an old farming family. So they ask me, do you really sit on that couch? Is it comfortable? Yes and yes. If it worked for the Victorians, then it works for us as well. We found this couch, I can't remember if it was Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, for 50 bucks. And it even had a matching chair. And we feel so blessed, still in great condition and still comfortable. We are really small people, like my husband and I are kind of petite, and so are our children, so that helps. We're actually built like Victorian people. But I really think anybody can live, you know, like they did, a simple and old-fashioned lifestyle if they really want to. And it's not really a sacrifice to live this way. You may notice that we do not have a TV. We do have a computer in the secretary that we use for school. But yeah, we've really chosen to try to live an old-fashioned, simple lifestyle, and we really love it. You can check out more about that on my Instagram feed, or we do have a small YouTube channel where we share our lifestyle, and I share a lot about my decorating. So over here, I did mention that we homeschool. So here is our little classroom. My girls actually do sit here and do schoolwork, but we also do schoolwork all over the house. Unlike a traditional classroom type situation, we do reading on the couch, and we do some schoolwork at the kitchen table, and we go outside for a lot of our classes. And I'll show you where we keep our curriculum, and this is also our coat closet. Old farmhouses really didn't have actual coat closets, so it's really helpful to use period appropriate pieces the way they were meant to be used. And so I really love having art supplies and things in the bottom drawers. And then, sorry, wow, I mean, you can tell we live on a farm. These are their church coats, and look how dirty they are. Oh my word, I'm gonna have to wash those. Naughty girls. Okay, so this is where Kimmy's schoolwork is and Avonlee's schoolwork, and then they have a shared basket. It's a little disheveled, but that's okay. You guys get the point. You know, just staying organized is really important when you have a really small home. I guess for modern standards, our home is really small. We have a 1,400 square foot farmhouse. And because we are still restoring the claim shanty portion, which will eventually be our master suite, we are living currently in 1,000 square feet. So I did want to point out the ceiling. We consider ourselves restorationists, so meaning that we try to honor the original family in every permanent decision we make. But here we kind of cheated a little bit here. They would never have shown the ceiling exposed. It would have been embarrassing to the Victorians, but we wanted to show off the craftsmanship. So every single board was cut and nailed, and everything was done by hand. So no power tools, guys. And so when we had to remove the ceiling because it was falling down, the plaster was cracking really bad, before we replaced it, we just decided, you know what, let's just keep it open as a testament to their handiwork. So if you have any questions about the decor or our restoration project of this, you know, historic farm and this piece of America's heritage, make sure you reach out to me on Instagram. Here you can see Briarton Farm. This is an aerial shot that we believe was taken in about the 1970s. and it really shows you know, a lot of the outbuildings and things. The barn is still there, the house, the windmill, and a lot of the smaller outbuildings, but these two barns over here, I don't know, they're not with us anymore, sadly. So here is the kitchen. The stairs are just right smack dab in the middle of the house, so that's where all the bedrooms are. You'll probably have to check out my Instagram or my YouTube channel if you want to see a tour of the upstairs. I'm not going to go up there today, just to save some time because I can talk a lot and I've noticed this is getting a little long. Sorry about that. I know you guys have places to go, people to see. So let's just talk about the kitchen. This room is really a testament to living the simple life. I've had a lot of people say, wow, you just really don't have a lot of storage or counter space. How do you do it? And I just was really inspired by the Little House on the Prairie books because Caroline Ingalls always just made do with what she had. And having a small kitchen with you know, very minimal storage and counter space has really helped me to prioritize and live with less. I don't have anything that I don't use or love. And so like, I just know that there are a lot of people that think that when they're you know, doing their kitchen that they need to have everything, all the latest and greatest inventions and really maximize every little spare corner for storage. But you know, I hope this encourages you that you don't really need everything that people tell you you need. This works really great for our family, and we are a family of 4, about to be a family of 5. We're in the process of an adoption, and so, you know, this works really great for us, and we're able to have great meals, and we just only keep the dishes and pots and pans and things that we actually use, and it's really key to be organized. And so yeah, I really feel like that's important. You can probably see scaffolding out the window. That is because we are still restoring this farmhouse. We are bringing even the exterior back to how it would have originally looked. So we're pulling off the plastic or, you know, vinyl siding and bringing the wood siding back to life that's underneath. And we do have all the original windows and we're restoring those. We are not ripping those out either. We really are passionate about using what was originally here or what should have been here, and so every little detail to us matters. This sink is only 7 inches deep, and you know, you might think that is impossible to wash dishes in, but this is the exact sink that Laura Ingalls has in her house in Mansfield, Missouri. So when people ask me what do I use for inspiration in my decorating or in our restoration of this entire farm, I always say that museums are my #1 favorite resource for you know, getting design ideas or getting decorating ideas. So when I visited her actual home that her and Almanzo lived in for, I can't remember, I think it was like 40 years. She had this exact sink, and so I wanted to make sure that I put something like her sink in our farmhouse. And my husband built the little legs that are holding it up. And then all of our cabinets are not prefab box store cabinets. These are things that were actually in historic kitchens. We found this drawer set on Craigslist, I think for 20 bucks, and was able to integrate it. And then this whole cabinetry set, which is where all of our dishes and everything are, and knives and silverware, this was at an antique store. And our stove is a 1940 Roper that we found on Craigslist. And our kitchen table and chairs are also antiques. I don't think I really own anything new. I think maybe my colander is the newest thing, which is from IKEA. And then We were able to find a vintage looking fridge and dishwasher at Home Depot. Something that's important when you are restoring is marrying seamlessly all of the modern conveniences that you want to have, still being respectful, because, you know, I think what I try to tell people with my style is that I'm not living in a museum, but I also want to be respectful because this kind of stuff will never go out of style. So I don't have to change my decorating every 5 to 10 years because I'm not following trends. I'm trying to stay within the architectural style of my home instead. And so when you stay true to the soul of your home, it's classic and it will never go out of style. I do a couple trendy things, like these chippy corbels really belong on an exterior porch, but there's kind of a trend right now of people putting corbels inside. So it's okay to do some trends, but in any permanent things, we'd really just try to stick to what would have been here or what should have been here, and then somewhere between the 1890s and the 1940s is kind of when we cut off and stop being inspired by anything else. And through these beautiful French doors that we plan to refinish someday is the dining room. And this is one of my favorite spaces. It's just great for larger gatherings like family birthday parties and things like that. You know, our house is so small that we can't really have a lot of people over at the same time, but this table I've been able to, it's set for 6 people, but I've been able to squeeze 10 here. You know, if you invite skinny little children, you can really pack them in. So this hutch is probably my favorite thing in the whole entire house. I just love it so much, and it's one of the only pieces that we didn't just save up for and pay cash for. We actually made payments. We found it at an antique store, and the guy was willing to work with us on that. It was really hard to get in the farmhouse, but thankfully these 2 pieces are separate, can be separated, and took like 3 or 4 guys to get it in here. Well worth the wait, well worth everything we went through to get it here. It just seems like it belongs. The warm tones, and you can see like the wooden peg construction. It's from the late 1700s or early 1800s. Has so much storage for all my dishes and decor. This little chimney is original to the house, and we were able to uncover it. Originally, there would have been a little coal burning or wood burning stove underneath. And let me show you my dishes. You guys might be interested in seeing these. I actually got a full set of like 50 pieces at a local flea market for $90. I was just shocked. So neat, and I'm so grateful for them. They're perfect for spring with the little flowers on them, and so I thought you guys might enjoy seeing them. I think they're hand painted as well. Just really neat. And let me just show you really quickly this little nook over here. This is just a fun area for storing. My husband uses the top drawer for storing camera equipment, and I have games in the bottom drawer, and I think the middle drawer has decor in it. I hand painted the flowers on the dresser, and then I also painted this horse portrait. It's an oil painting that I did. Probably one of my favorite paintings I've ever done. As an artist, it's really fun to be able to decorate your own home with your own artwork, and it definitely saves money if you can create your own. I found this cute little silhouette of a couple going on a carriage ride together at a thrift store for a couple dollars, as well as this basket tray and the candlesticks. And then all these little baby items are things I found at flea markets. And believe it or not, these are dried herbs from our garden. So you can use anything for decor. including this centerpiece, which is just basically a bundle of weeds from our pasture. So, you know, use what you have and go outside into nature and really use what God has made for decor. That door, it leads to our master suite, and I'm not going to go in there because it is still under restoration. So check back with us. Hopefully in the next few years we'll have those 2 rooms done. And last but not least, there's a cute little reading nook here. If you want to find a quiet spot to get away and sit down and read, it's a really great snuggly place to hang out. Opal. Opal. Peekaboo. Show off those pretty blue eyes. Hey guys, so thanks for joining me on that tour. Man, I can talk a lot of time about 3 rooms, can't I? If you're interested in seeing more of the house, or if you want to see more of the farm, or you want to learn more about our simple country lifestyle, definitely check me out at Brierton Farm on Instagram. I can answer all of your questions there, and I have a lot of information, and I go in depth on all the subjects that I'm passionate about, like original art, historic restoration and preservation, adoption, homeschooling, and simple country living. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you there.
A big thank you to Sarah for sharing her beautiful home here on Living It Country today. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure you click that link below to subscribe and go check that playlist out so you guys can get inspired by many more homes. If you guys want your home featured on Living It Country, make sure to check out our email down below so you guys can email us and see if that's something you guys want to do. Thank you guys so much for watching Living It Country today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!